So we're about to start uploading these model schedules for future use or for use by other people on our team. So we definitely want to be thorough here. We know that none of the schedules have precedent cells. And since none of them have precedents, that means that also none of them should have dependents now either. So let's go through and just do a really quick check. It won't take long since the Macabacus shortcuts are so quick. Let's get started. So what we're going to use in this quick demonstration is show all precedents, Control Alt left square bracket, and show all dependents, Control Alt right square bracket. And so we're set up on the cover page. Let's select the entire cover page like this. Check the precedents. There's no precedents found. Check the dependents. No dependents found. Perfect. Let's head over to the outputs page now. Select the entire schedule just like this. Show all precedents first. And we can see that there are some precedents, but none outside of this range. Let's clear the arrows with Control Alt backslash. Now the schedule is still selected, so let's hit Show All Dependents now. Perfect. There's some that came up, but again, none outside of this range, so we can clear the arrows and move on. Let's head over to the inputs page and do a similar check. We're going to select the schedule here, all the way down to the bottom, show all precedents, none outside of this range, remove the arrows, show all dependents, and again, we can see none outside of this range. We'll remove the arrows, head over to the model tab. So we want to select the revenue schedule all the way down to the bottom like this. And we can say show all precedents. We can see some, but none outside of this range. Clear the arrows. So now let's quickly activate show all dependents like this. And we can see that they've popped up. But again, there's none outside of this range. So let's clear the arrows and move down to the cost schedule. And we're going to use the scroll lock just to scroll down and bring that into a nice focus. Let's zoom out a little bit just so we can see everything. Select the cost schedule all the way down to the bottom. Show all precedents just like this. And we can see blue arrows coming up, but none outside of the range. Clear the arrows. So let's show all dependents now. And once again, we can see the blue arrows coming up, none outside of the range, clear the arrows. Let's scoot down to the income statement now and continue our check really quickly here. We'll just bring it into focus, zoom in a little bit, and we're ready to go. So we can quickly select the schedule here, show all precedent cells, none outside of the range, clear the arrows, show all dependents, and they've come up, but not outside of the range, and we're going to clear the arrows again. Now finally down to the last schedule in this model that we need to check, which is the DCF schedule right here. So let's get the schedule selected really quickly, all the way down to the bottom here, show all precedent cells, none outside of the range, clear the arrows. So now we're going to hit show all dependents. As we can see, again, there's none outside of the range. Let's clear the arrows and move on. So hopefully this last demonstration wasn't too repetitive. As we mentioned earlier, it's a good idea to have a little bit of repetition just to get familiar with the keystrokes and start to get comfortable with these Macabacus tools that are so powerful and save you so much time. We've now checked every single schedule in this model and they are truly ready to be uploaded, which is exactly what we're going to start doing in the next video. We'll see you over there. So in this quick video, we're going to go through just the final steps that are needed to get this file completely ready for publishing to the Macabacus library. Immediately after this video, when we go into the next video, we're going to be ready to start pushing these schedules up into Macabacus to get them ready for ourselves and for other users. Let's jump into it and get started. So what we need to do in this file is locate all of the corporate logos and delete them out since they're not able to be uploaded to the Macabacus libraries. Now, the first and most obvious way to select and delete corporate logos would be to just hover over the logo, right click, and then say cut. And this would get rid of them. But let's see if we can automate this a little bit and use the keyboard instead of the mouse. And if we were just using a native copy of Excel and wanted to just use the keyboard, we would tap the F5 key. It brings up this go to command. We can use the tab key to get down and click special now. And once this go to special dialog box comes up, then we can use the up arrow to get here to objects. As soon as we hit enter, all of the objects are selected, and now we could hit the delete key and the logo would be deleted. Let's look at a different way now to do this with Macabacus. If you hadn't seen that technique before, it's pretty neat and it does avoid the use of the mouse, but there's a lot of keystrokes and we also have to individually go through each tab in the model to delete each one of the logos. With Macabacus, we're going to use the Explorer pane. So let's expand the ribbon first of all with Control F1. Go up to the Macabacus section of the ribbon and remember the Explorer pane right here, which we can access by tapping Alt-U-E. It opens up on the left-hand side. What we can do now is grab the mouse for a second and click on this button right here to expand all. Now what we can see are the graphics or the logos. If we click on the one in Outputs, then we can just tap the Delete key. Are you sure? We'll hit Enter for OK. Now to the inputs, we tap on the graphic, delete, enter, and then finally on the model tab, delete, enter, and we're all done. Now that we've quickly deleted out all of those logos, we can tap Alt-U-E just to close down the Explorer pane and then use Control Page Up, Page Down to pop back over here to the cover page. I think you can see why we find that Explorer pane so helpful. It helped us in finding all of those logos right away. And as we clicked on them, it was taking us physically to the logos, so we could just tap the delete key and quickly remove them from the file. Now, if you've been able to follow along exactly with all the steps that we've shown through this course, then you should definitely keep using your own Excel file to publish the schedules up into the Macabacus library. But if you feel that you may have missed a couple of steps along the way, that's okay. What we've done in the next section is provided a file for you with the word publish in the file name, and that can be used to publish all of the schedules up to the Macabacus library. The other file that we've provided in the next section has the word insert in the file name. And this is like a blank canvas where you can use this file to start inserting the model schedules and building up the model. Once you've downloaded and saved all of these materials, skip ahead to the next video and we'll see you there. And this is where we're really going to start having fun in publishing schedules up into the Macabacus library. Now, as we mentioned in the last video, this is truly going to be the fun part. We're going to start uploading all of these schedules to Macabacus and create a whole library or portfolio of schedules that we can use for model building. Now remember, if you followed along with all of our steps, you should definitely keep using your own Excel file. But if you feel like you missed any of the steps along the way, then you could definitely use the Excel file we just provided in that download section. Let's get started. So please follow along exactly with our steps here so that you can get your portfolio of schedules matching ours. We're going to start by selecting the cover page, just like this. Now we want to use the mouse, pop up into the Macabacus section of the ribbon. Here under Settings, we're going to click right here, Library Manager. Brings up this dialog box. And as you can see here, we're going to be using the personal library. We can click here to expand the library. Then what we want to do here is click on Tables. The first thing that we're going to ask you to do is click on New Group, because we're going to create a brand new group and we're going to call this Model Schedules, just like this. And then we can click the OK button. We get the confirmation that a new group has been created. So next up, we can click on this new group called Model Schedules, and we want to click here to publish to the group. Now we can select this second option, publish the selected range on the active worksheet. And let's call the title here Cover Page, just like that. And we want to click this Publish button. We get a positive confirmation that content has been added to the library. Let's click OK here and then close down this dialog box. Next up, let's scoot over to the Outputs page. And one thing we want to make sure that we do when we upload the schedule is include column A here. The reason for that is because we have a navigational stop there. For instance, if we started in A1 and hit Control down, we would hit the navigational stop right at the header. So let's start there, highlight all the way across here and include column Q. And then we want to go all the way down to the bottom where we have that nice little border. So now that this is selected, we want to go through the same sequence, Macabacus Settings, Library Manager, expand the personal library down to Tables, click on Model Schedules, publish to the group, publish the selected range, and for the title, we want to put in here Sensitivity Analysis, and then we can say Publish. Again, a nice positive confirmation that content has been added to the library, and we can close that dialog. Let's go over to the Inputs page now and do the same thing, starting in column A, all the way across, include column Q, right down, so we get this nice border at the bottom, and then we want to go up here again. Macabacus Settings, Library Manager, expand the personal library, tables, model schedules, and we want to again publish to the group, the selected range. We're going to call this model assumptions and click publish. We get our nice positive confirmation and we can close down this dialog box. Perfect. So let's pop over to the model tab now and go through this for the revenue schedule. Again, select across and include column Q. Go down and make sure that we get this nice bottom border here and the same sequence. Macabacus, settings, library manager, personal library, tables, model schedules, publish to the group, selected range. Let's call this revenue schedule and click publish. Contents added to the library. Perfect. Let's do the cost schedule quickly now. We'll scoot down to the cost schedule. Let's use the scroll lock key to get it in focus. All the way across here, include column Q, and let's make sure that we get right to the bottom here, and then let's upload it quickly. Settings, library manager, personal library, tables, model schedules, publish to group, selected range. This is going to be the cost schedule, publish, and there's our confirmation. Wonderful. So next up is the income statement. Let's bring that into focus here so we can see everything that we're working with, and we want to select the whole thing right down to the border here, and then we want to publish it. So Macabacus settings in the library manager, personal, model schedules, publish to group, and obviously we're going to call this here income statement, publish, and there's our nice confirmation. The last and final schedule here is the DCF schedule. Let's get that one uploaded as well. We're going to select across and all the way down to our border. And then we go up into the Macabacus section of the ribbon. Obviously here, personal library, model schedules, publish to group, selected range. We're going to call this one just DCF schedule. Publish. There's our nice confirmation, and we're all set. So that took a little time to get the model schedules uploaded, but I hope you can understand this is really something that you'd only do once a year. Why would you do it annually? Well, you'd probably roll these templates forward a year, and then you just re-upload them or overwrite them. For now, we're all set. The next video is truly the fun part. We're going to start inserting these, getting them ready for a model build. We'll see you there. As we've been mentioning, we are truly at the exciting part of the process now. As you can see, we have a completely blank canvas in front of us, and we're going to quickly start inserting schedules in this video. Then in the next video, we're going to show you how to connect them together really fast. Let's get started. Now, please make sure that you open up the file with the word insert in the file name. And as you can see, we're here on the cover page. If we go over to the outputs page, it's mostly blank, except for a logo at the top. Same with the inputs page and the model page. So everything's laid out and ready for us to get started. Let's head back to the cover page and start here. Now let's first take the cursor and move it down and over to cell B2. Then what we're going to do is head up to the Macabacus section of the ribbon. Now for uploading schedules, we were doing all our work here in the library manager. But now in order to insert schedules, we're going to head over here and click where it says library. We only are looking for tables, so we can just click tables at this point, and we see the library come up on the right-hand side. If we click here to open up the model schedules, and we can start hovering over the schedules to see really nice thumbnails come up. We want to insert this particular cover page. Instead of using the insert button down here in the bottom right, what we can do here is right click and we get the insert option, and then we can click insert and the page inserts instantly like this. Now that the cover page is in place, let's head over to the outputs page, and we're going to go down to cell A5 right here. And the same idea, we're going to hover over what we want, sensitivity analysis, right click and hit insert, and it's dropped in there so fast. Next up is our input sheet. Let's go over to the top of the sheet here, down to cell A5, hover over model assumptions, right click, insert, and it drops it in right away. Now across and over to our model page. Again, we're going to start on cell A5. We're going to go across here, start with the revenue schedule, right click, insert, and the revenue schedule is put in place. Now let's start assembling things on top of one another according to our preference for vertical model structure. So we want to scroll down a little bit just below the revenue schedule here, cell A49, and we can hover over the cost schedule, right click, insert, and that gets dropped into place. Next up, let's scroll down and make some room for our income statement. We're going to go all the way down here and start in cell A95, income statement insert, and it's dropped in. Finally, let's finish off this particular tab here with the DCF schedule. Cell A132, DCF schedule, right click, insert, and that's done as well. So let's now go up to the top of the model tab here and just take a look at how everything has been put together. As you can see, Macabacus has inserted everything perfectly with the exact formatting that matches the original schedules that we've started with. The other thing which the software has done is it's maintained perfectly our column widths and our row heights with every schedule that we've inserted. And finally, just to close off on those 4 challenges that we indicated earlier in the course, Macabacus has effectively done a paste duplicate here. And what that's done is it's maintained the formulaic relativity of all of the formulas in every schedule so that we don't have any errors when we paste. Now, obviously, it took us a little bit of time to get all of these schedules completely isolated and configured and formatted properly so that they could be uploaded into the library. But once they were there, it was lightning fast for us to pull them up and insert them quickly into a template to get the shell of this model up and running. In the next video now, we're going to start connecting them together, which is also going to be pretty quick. We'll see you there.